Welcome everybody. Today we're going to learn about Agalat Kelim. How do I do Agalat Kelim for Pesach, or even when the Kli became Taref and I want to make it kosher? What I need to know first is the utensils that I'm ready to do Agalah for has to be clean and has to wait 24 hours from the last time I used it. Also, the big pot that I'm going to make Agalah inside it has to wait 24 hours from the last use and has to be clean. When I'm ready to do Agalah, I'll fill it up with water and let it boil on the stove. When it gets to a boiling point, I'm ready to do Agalah. But we need to just note that the boiling point is when the bubbles go on top. That has to be a nice amount of bubbles, not just those little bubbles that start in the beginning of the boiling. It has to be a more amount of bubbles that indicate that the water is already hot enough. Then I'll take those utensils and I'll do the Agalah inside. How do I take the utensils? Let's take, for instance, a knife. I'll take that knife, I'll hold it in my hand, and I'll put half of it inside the water. I can't put the whole thing, obviously, because it's going to burn my hands. So I'll put half, and then when I take that, I'll put the other half afterwards. Right afterwards, I need to put that knife into cold water. So all I need to leave the knife in the boiling water is a second or 2 seconds, not more than that, and then put it under a stream of cold water. If it's hard to hold it like that also because it gets hot, so one could use gloves or put it in something else, then and immerse the whole thing in the boiling pot water. After I finish doing such a thing, I'm done with Agalah for knives, for forks, for all those kinds of utensils. When I have, for instance, a pot or a pan that has also a handle, the handle also has to go in the water. So what I'll do is I'll put the pan inside. If it doesn't completely go inside, I said before that you can put first half and then second half, but also the handle has to be immersed into the boiling water. When I'm done with that, again, I put it under cold stream of water, and that's the end of the Agalah. But we need to know that when we do Agalah to a number of utensils, usually the nature of the water that are boiling is to get cold, because the utensils are cold, and once you put them inside, you're causing the water to become more cold, and therefore the bubbles on top, the boiling water would get colder, and that's not good enough. It's not good for Agalah. It has to be boiling. What do I do then? I'll have to wait a few seconds, since the urn or the pot that I'm using is on top of the fire. After a few seconds, it would get back to a boiling point, and then I can continue my procedure of Agalat Kelim. But as long as the water was calm and you don't see the boiling, the water getting boiled, then that's not sufficient and not good enough to do the Agalah.